live. My guest recently, who I was supposed to go live with, could not make it today. And I was like so nervous because I wanted to keep my commitment to my followers on YouTube and Facebook who are used to seeing me go live at 4 o'clock for the past 2 to 3 Sundays. I believe this is the third Sunday. And I just wanted to keep my promise and keep my consistency and come on live. It's Sunday at 4 p.m. I'm a little late because I was freaking out because my guest canceled, but I think that this is still like a really good opportunity for me to talk to everyone who is interested in why I started the platform, who's interested in hearing from me, maybe be live and say affirmations live, who's interested in engaging with me. I wanted to keep my promise to my community. Like, here I am, it's 4 p.m. on a Sunday, and I want to talk to you guys directly. I don't want to just like post content, but I want to interact and build the relationship with my followers on here. So, thank you guys so much for joining my live. Thank you so much for supporting me. Thank you so much as I navigate this journey. It's been really like, I would say, internally, like, internally growth. There's been a lot of internal growth. When I started Affirmations for Black Men, I didn't know that it would get to this point. I have over 400,000 people in this community on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And Nicole, happy Sunday, sis. Haven't seen your face in a minute. Thank you so much. I've just been really taking it in because I don't know, when I started this, I didn't think that, it would get this big or be this many people who support it and people looking for love and affirmation. So I didn't really plan, for it, but I'm here. So now I know, I feel like God has given me the opportunity to reach this many people and show them love as much as I can. Our community needs it. And it's just been really interesting. For those of you who don't know, I started Affirmations for Black Men about over 4 years ago. I but I was talking about this yesterday with someone. Actually, I was like telling them, thank you, sis, blessings, thank you, Ronald. I was talking about this yesterday with someone, and you guys are both coming from YouTube. That's awesome. Basically saying like, I grew up in a majority of white spaces online, not online, in person. So I went to boarding school and I went to private school. My mom did what she could to make sure that I had the best education. And if you guys know anything about, like, the history of us, basically our school systems aren't as good as like the school systems of people who aren't of color, right? And so my mom just wanted me to have the best possibilities to grow. And so she put me in all white school systems. And what that did to me mentally is I began to see myself and develop my sense of self through the lens of other white people. Okay. And so I didn't love myself. I didn't love the reflection, the person that was in the mirror. I didn't think that I was beautiful. I talked negatively to myself every single day. And I didn't think that I was smart, right? And I didn't think I had a future, right? Because these are all the messages that were being communicated to me. I was bullied when I was younger, and I was at these schools and I was being bullied, and people were being mean to me every single day. And I lived in, if you know anything about boarding school, I lived in these spaces 24/7. So it wasn't like I went to school and I went home, right, to my Black family. Like, no, I lived at school starting from 13 years old, and I lived there. And so I didn't have a place to get away, right? And so my sense of self from when I was really young, um, it was like really sad the way that I thought about myself. And my therapist, when I was about 26 years old, told me that I should start giving myself affirmations, in the mirror specifically. And I was willing to do anything because there was moments where I wanted to kill myself. There was moments where I didn't want to live, right? Because I was just surrounded around people who didn't care for me, who didn't love me, I didn't love myself, and I didn't think that my life was worth anything. And so I went to therapy. I don't want to cry, guys, on here. I'm coming on live, but I really want to like talk to you guys and like how I got here. But when I went to therapy, when I was about 26 years old, and this was after a major breakup in my life. I had broken up with me and my ex-boyfriend. We broke up. We were together for 4 years and we lived together. And I'm like, I don't know who I am without this person. This is the only person I felt like loved me. And I was just in a really dark place at the time. And so I went to therapy because I needed something different. And the therapist was like, okay, you should do affirmations in the mirror and tell yourself, nice things. And at first, as I was doing these affirmations, hold on one second, guys. Frank, my dog is like, hold on, guys. This is my dog, Franklin. Okay, Franklin, come on. Let's go. He will not stop eating on his toy, and I'm really trying to talk to you guys for a second. But at first, when I was doing my affirmations, I in the mirror, so like I got in front of the mirror, and this is like a camera setup, so this feels like a mirror. So I got in front of the mirror, and I would start to tell myself every single day, Nicole, you are worthy, you are smart, you have a great, bright future ahead of you, you're gonna do great things. And at first, when I was giving myself the affirmations in the mirror, I didn't believe it. And so I felt silly. And I just felt like it was corny. Yeah, it felt really corny. I think that's the best way I could describe it. And but she just kept told me to keep going, and then she told me to put sticky notes like on my mirror of affirmations and around my house, so I would find like positive things about me. And this didn't really hit, or I didn't really feel anything the first 2 weeks. The first 2 to 3 weeks I was just like a robot. I was just robotically saying these things. But then after a month, after over 30 days, I was like started to say it, and then I actually started to believe it. And then I was like, oh, okay, you are smart, you are capable, your life is beautiful, there are people that do love you, you can do this, like you do got this. And I started to actually say it to myself with some, with some confidence. And then once I started to shift my mind, because what affirmations does, it shifts the way that you think. It's like does something in your neurological brain where you're training your brain to think differently. Oh, we have John in the chat. What's going on, John? It trains your brain to think differently. And so I was reprogramming. I didn't know it at the time, but I was reprogramming my brain to think differently about myself. And as an African American person of color, can you imagine if we're only 3 generations removed of slavery? My great grandparents were raised by people who were slaves. And so 400 years, all of these slaves were in these conditions, and they were raising those children, and those children raised us in this very toxic environment. So it's actually super crucial that all of us who are Black, that we actually recondition our brains to think positively about ourselves. Like, this is a way, hi Rob, thank you for your words, thank you so much. This is a way for us to free ourselves, right? Because words are energy, words are spells, words are constantly coming at us online, on social media, in advertisements, on billboards, and your subconscious brain is way more powerful than you think, and it really impacts your entire life. So if you're not actively training your subconscious brain to think differently of yourself, to think positively of yourself, then your subconscious brain is being trained by somebody else. Somebody else is training your brain to be insecure. Someone else is training your brain to hate yourself. Someone else is training your brain to think certain ways of yourself so they could profit off of you, right? Or for whatever reason, or if they can feel like a step above you. So it's capitalism, right? That's how it works. And so I didn't know what I was doing as I was doing it, but all I knew that it made me feel better. It freed me, right? These words that I was telling myself freed me. And this was also, words of affirmation is my love language. So this was a way for me to give myself the love that I was seeking outside of myself. And the moment that I realized that I could love myself, that I could care for myself, and that I was like literally changing the way that I felt about myself in real time, I have not stopped giving myself affirmations since. And it felt so good to the point where if there was someone in my life, and there was a lot of people at the time, I had a lot of friendships and I had a lot of relationships with people who talked down on me or talked down to me because that's what I normalized from school and high school. And so the moment that I started lifting myself up with words, the moment that I was able to see more clearly other people who didn't value me, who had such close proximity and such close access to me, right? And I didn't see it before, but because I loved myself, I was surrounded around a lot of people who did not love me. And the moment, and this is kind of what is like the downside and sucks about this journey, or sucks about this journey, but you have to go through it. The moment that you start loving yourself more and you start raising your vibration, all of the things that your previous self used to accept, your new self doesn't. And then you get really uncomfortable with a lot of the relationships in your life. And so I got really uncomfortable the way that I, allowed people to talk to me, and it's not their fault. I allowed it for years and years and years, and now all of a sudden it's a problem, right? I'm shifting. They're not. They're staying the same. But unfortunately, when I set those boundaries and when I communicated myself that what's not okay, I had to leave a lot of different relationships in order to be in a better place. And so I want to say like over like 5, 6, 7 relationships, like I had to X out of my life entirely because we were just on different paths and different journeys. So now I'm in a space where I'm surrounded around a lot of love because I love myself. And when I realized sort of everything that was happening to me and how it changed my life, I was like, oh my God, our community needs this. Black women, Black men, we all need this. We all need to lift ourselves up. We all need to say that we love ourselves and each other. Like, this could change everything. And I just felt the power, and I was like, okay, boom, I'm going to start saying affirmations to Black men, and I'm going to start saying affirmations to Black women, and I'm going to, be the change that I want to see in my own life and in my community. And that's how I started affirmations for Black men, because the affirmations for Black men specifically did something a little bit different that I didn't know I was doing at the time. I didn't realize how divided Black men and Black women are. And so when I'm affirming Black men, when I'm telling Black men I love you, um, from a woman, right? It does something to connect the two. It's a language that, not a lot of our family members spoke, right? Like my mom never really raised me to learn how to love a Black man or learn how to talk to a Black man or learn how to connect to a Black man because she herself might have been disconnected from the Black men in her life. And so I was learning in real time, how needed and how necessary my loving care and how much my loving voice, how that felt so warm to so many different Black men and how much it was missing in our community. And I was setting these trends that ended up on like the BT carpets, that ended up on Black menswear, and they're doing affirmations all the time. I set the trend for something our community needed, and it was all rooted in love. And so I'm so happy and I'm so proud of where the page and where the affirmations for Black men and how much it's grown. And now I'm at a point where I'm trying to figure out, okay, so how can I love Black men in a deeper way and start even more conversation around how much this is so important. But I have David who commented, you've set the grounds for answers, remedies, solutions, be pray night for your ministry of self and powerful. Thank you. And John said, I feel it. I love your videos. Thank you guys so much. It was a complete journey to self love because I can't love you if I don't love myself. And I mean, I can try, but the love that I give will never be enough. So I literally had to learn how to love myself in order to love my brothers. And I'm so happy that I get to do this work and I get to love on y'all. God is so good that this can be something that I can do for the rest of my life and something that I can feel within myself for the rest of my life so deeply that others feel it too within themselves. And hopefully I can spark, your own self-love journey and realize that, hey, Black man, love isn't something that you need to be seeking so much outside of you. Love is something that you should be seeking within you, because the more that you are constantly feeling like you have to perform to receive love, then that means you are giving everybody outside of you more control than you give yourself. And if everybody outside of you has more control than you have yourself, then you will be like a dancing monkey for people in order to receive this affection, right? And you don't want to put yourself in a position where other people have more power over you and how you feel about yourself. That is a powerless position to be in, and you want to feel powerful, right? Because you are powerful, And I think that sometimes we forget just how powerful Black men are, the most powerful that I've seen in the world. Like, there's literally, the UN just announced that American slavery is the worst thing to happen to humans throughout history. They just announced that in 2026 this year. I mean, we all knew it, but the world has confirmed that what Black men and what Black women have been through and what their ancestors have been through, there's nothing like it. And there has been no rehabilitation. There has been no pause for Black people to really process and decompress. Black people have gone from oppression to oppression to oppression to oppression. There is a constant state of oppression that Black people are put on in this country. And so, if we're living in a world that has admitted this is the worst thing to happen to humans throughout history, and then they don't want to give any sort of rehabilitation to us whatsoever, we have to take it. We have to be so serious about taking it for ourselves and not feeling guilty for it. And what that looks like is slowing down. What that looks like is loving yourself, like fearlessly, loudly, and not caring. And what that looks like is forgiving yourself. What that looks like is understanding yourself, right? And I remember I have the Iceman 2006 who's commenting. I'll read that in a second. I remember like when I started this journey and doing affirmations, people think it was all love. It was all no. I was getting so much hate from people of other communities, like you're being racist, you're a pick me, like stop doing that, and all these things. Like my love for myself was triggering so much hate within people because they're looking at me like you're not supposed to love yourself. Look, you're supposed to be the bottom of the barrel. They're looking at me because they have an internal hate that they don't even understand. And my love is so triggering to them that it makes them so upset that they're willing to come up out their day and like try to bring me down to a level that they think that I should be in because they don't love themselves. So the idea that I love myself when they don't love themselves makes them feel like I think that I'm above them. And then that angers them so much that they have to comment on my post and make it known that I'm not that, right? So your self-hate is triggered when I love myself because you're only the only way that you love yourself is if you think that you're above me. And that's what white America like that's their only cling to like, you know, feeling good about themselves is feeling like we're less than. And like that's not okay with me. And I'm not going to play that game. I'm going to free myself from those thoughts. I'm going to free myself from those shackles. I will no longer think lowly of myself. I will no longer think lowly of my community. I will no longer hate myself for no reason. Like I see through all of it. And loudly and proudly, I do not mind saying, Black man, I love you. Not only do I love you, I believe in you. Not only do I believe in you, I want you to be free. Not only do I want you to be free, I want you to be successful and and success can mean so many different things, but success to me is has nothing to do with money. Success to me has everything to do with how you feel about yourself and how you feel about your life. Success to me is in the little moments and in you basking and you embracing just how special you really are and you moving through life with a curiosity and you not allowing the self-hate that white supremacy tries to be on to enter into your body, to enter into your matrix. That has nothing to do with you. Don't absorb it. That's not yours to carry. Let them have their negative energy because you are something different. You are a light to the world. You are a light in my life. You're a light in my family. You're a light in my community. And I can only hope that you feel the light within your own body because you deserve to feel that light that everybody else around you feels. We all feel it. Like, because you're alive, we all feel the light that you have within you and that's inside of you. And it's so special. That's why you're able to move so many people energetically. It's like something that's on you. And it is such a shame if you can't feel it too. So, if I have to get up here every single day and affirm you, I will. Doesn't matter if I'm tired, if I'm not feeling it, if I'm like, I want the Black men in my life that make my life so special to know how special you are, how important you are, how valued you are, and how cared for you are. You know, as someone, I've freed myself from the self hate. I've freed myself from thinking low of myself. And I've seen it. I see it. I see the okey doke. I see the trick. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this poor man that's in front of me who can't even see how special and how honorable and how needed and how useful and how like important he is. Like the entire country was built on the backs of black men. America is America because of black men. So this is one of the most powerful countries in the world exists because of the labor and because of the energy of black men. So like if and then on top of that, people try to make it seem like black men are the ones doing this or that. Like that's not true. Black men are the ones that are criminal, even though they made the laws and the rules to use the labor of black men and keep them in a certain place and then try to convince black men that they're the ones that we should be scared of. Meanwhile, they're the ones constantly protecting us. They're the ones constantly literally putting their lives on the line for us. They're like, I can't even imagine as a black woman what it would be like if I didn't have the coverage and the protection of black men. The reason why they don't do what they can do to me is because of you. The reason why I'm safe is because of you. The reason why I am breathing and the reason why I'm here is because of you, because of your sacrifice. Black men are constantly living in sacrifice. Black men are constantly living in sacrifice for their community, for their families, in sacrificing their own lives and their own happiness, oftentimes just so other people can be okay, just so other people can be all right. So like I don't understand like the negative narrative. Like we have gone so far, right? To be enslaved 400 years in the way that we were, to be even just right here is a freaking miracle. And it would have never happened if it weren't for the bodies and the lives of the black men. So, like, it's time that we honor them. It's time that we respect them. It's time that we show them appreciation because I'm telling you, they don't feel it. And like that's why I'm so passionate about this topic. I'm so passionate about my work. I'm so passionate about, the things that I'm trying to create here online because like in reality it should be like 10, 100, a million times more of appreciation, of love and of gratitude that we see for the black men in our community. The fact that like it was just me for so long is like absolutely ridiculous, and the fact that what I was doing was such a shock, what I was doing was such a miracle. Like, oh my God, like it was such a, and it was literally like such a simple thing. Thank you. It's so simple to say thank you, black man. Thank you, black man, for showing up. Thank you, black man. I know you didn't want to get up and go to work today and have to provide and have to create safety. Thank you, black man. Thank you, black man, for lifting me up energetically. Thank you, black man, for pushing. Even though life doesn't feel so great all the time, but you keep pushing and you keep pushing for a better future, for a better outcome, and you don't give up. Thank you. Thank you. It is so simple to say thank you. I appreciate you and I love you. So I'm going to do that for as many days as I can, for as long as I can. And I'm going to show up here on Affirmations for Black Men every Sunday, guys, to affirm you. And whether it's an interview or whether it's me here by myself, I want to give Black men as much love as I can. Because even the love that I give, it's not enough. And all I can do is all I can do. So, Black man, I love you. I'm gonna start reading the comments. We have Rob here who says saying positive affirmations can delete the negative thoughts. Sometimes I think I'm a bad parent, even though I know I do my best. I wish I could control my thoughts. Exactly. That's the only way that you're gonna be able to navigate your thoughts is telling yourself, I am a good parent. I do show up the best I can, and I'm going to continue to show the best I can today. All you can control is the day that you have in front of you. And as long as you do your best every single day, and every single day you wake up with that attitude, you're going to be okay, Rob. You're going to be okay. And then we have Ronald who said, thank you for advocating for us. Thank you, Ronald. Thank you so much. Let's stand against self-hatred, emotional health, and wellness. And your affirmations do so much good. I'm in several different groups for Directed by Black Men, and I make it a point to share your content in them daily. So many are responding positively to it all. Thank you. Wow. Thank you so much. The Iceman 2006. People are terrified of us writing the shit because so many benefited us from being at the bottom. Exactly. Exactly. So thank you guys so much for coming on. I hope that you enjoy your Sunday. If you did enjoy this content of me getting up here just saying live affirmations and you just want me to do this every Sunday, maybe more than the interviews, encourage me in the comments, y'all. Encourage me in the comments. I will come on and I will speak directly to you, Black man. And I love you. Okay.